Before we start today's video, once again, I have to promote the election night stream that is happening tomorrow, which is Tuesday, May 24th at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is right, folks. Tomorrow at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the election night stream will commence. Just like the other times, in the description down below, there is a link to the live stream. Click it. You will be sent to the live stream. Click the reminder button on the live stream, but also share with your friends. Again, I want hundreds upon hundreds of people, if not thousands, to flood this stream. I want this to be a huge stream. Again, share with all the base people you know. Don't share with cringe people. Share with only base people you know. All right, folks, this is it. The final prediction video. Let us commence. All right, folks, just like I said in the intro, this is it. There will be 3 predictions made today. Well, 4, technically. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash that like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the little bell, and yes, of course, go follow that mysterious Twitter account in the description down below. And yeah, and yes, whatever you want to say. By the way, of course, follow my Truth Social, and yeah. Alright, folks, let's get right into it. So today we're going to have 3 elections we'll all be making predictions. 2 of them, there will be 1 prediction. The other one, the last one, will be the one with 2 predictions. As you know, races that I have a hard time deciding, alright, just like the last one, I usually go with 2 predictions. One if, you know, turnout goes this way, the other if it goes that way. That's the best way to do it. So we're going to go from least important / least, you know, I guess you could say least competitive to the most competitive race, in my opinion. And I know a lot of people are going to be pissed off with my prediction, but I'm going to give my reasoning. And I think, personally, I'm going to be spot on. Again, when I started doing these, you know, a couple weeks ago, you know, I've been spot on. 99% of the time, I was spot on. So, let's start with the least competitive race. The Texas Attorney General race. Usually, I don't make predictions for these. Alright, usually I'm like, okay, whatever. But this is a runoff, and this is a rule I'm doing for statewide races that have runoffs. I will attempt to do as many predictions as I possibly can. And this is an interesting one. You got the Trump-backed Ken Paxton, who, in my opinion, is a good Attorney General. And then on the left, you got what's left of the Bush dynasty. This is the chance to kill off the Bush dynasty once and for all. Now, this Bush is not terrible. In fact, he's actually probably the best of the Bushes. I know, funny. He's the son of Jeb, I believe. He's not bad. My issue is his last name. Again, George W., alright? H.W. Oh boy, or W, yeah. The second Bush, alright? He was okay as governor. That didn't go so well as president. He was a good governor in some aspects. He was a terrible president. So yeah, this is my issue with trusting Bushes. Now the polls are showing that Ken Paxton is running away with it. I agree with it. Now the question is this. What will the margin be, alright, between Ken Paxton and P. Bush? This is a weird one, alright? So as we know from the election, Paxton's strength came from the more traditional Republican areas, while, you know, Bush's strengths came from surprisingly southern Texas, you know, the Rio Grande Valley, etc. The issue with Bush is this. There's not enough votes in the Rio Grande Valley in Republican primary. There just isn't. And plus, there's a question mark of where else could he get votes from? Louis Gohmart's district? I highly doubt it. It's like, where are you going to find these votes? And the polling has shown, you know, Paxton at 41%. Like, he was running away with it earlier, but now magically Bush is picking up steam. No. Guys, here's my prediction. My final prediction for the Attorney General race in Texas. It's going to be, in my opinion, lopsided. Again, it could be wrong. With statewide races like this, it can be very random. The turnout can be weird. But this is my current prediction. Right here, folks, I project that Ken Paxton will win with 59.6% of the vote. Yeah, I think he's going to almost get 60%. The issue is he has Trump's endorsement, and I highly doubt the Guzman's or Gohmart's voters would go heavily towards Bush. The only way Bush has any chance is if he gets max turnout in the Rio Grande Valley, sucks up a lot of Gohmart's supporters, and Paxton just collapses. That's his only path. So yeah, folks, that's my current prediction in the state of Texas for the Attorney General race. All right, now we got the one that is, oh boy, this is an interesting one. Alabama. Boy, oh boy. Mo Brooks, aka MAGA Mo, has made in my opinion, one of the greatest political comebacks ever. I have never seen anything like this. You go from having Trump's endorsement to collapsing in the polls to Trump unendorsing you, which I don't think that's ever happened. I swear, I don't think that's ever happened before. To now being potentially second place, if not first, in the first round of voting. Again, this race is going to a runoff. I don't care what people say. There's no chance Britt gets above 50%. There just isn't the votes. Now, the question is this. Who's going to take second? Britt, in my opinion, should take first. Brooks, I think, will get close, but I think just he's going to fall just short. Now, Durant, he's done. My opinion, Durant, as of now, does not have the support to win. The whole stuff coming out about immigration, being a neocon and stuff, that sunk his campaign. And Mo Brooks has been a genius politically lately. Now, he's pissed off Trump again, which is bad. But Mo Brooks has run a good final stretch of a campaign. He's been focusing on sucking up Durant supporters. Like, hey, Durant supporters, come to me. And you see this. Katie Britt, all right, has not moved at all for her support. It's capped at 37%. That's not a good sign. If she's getting capped now in a runoff, which will be more friendly to Mo Brooks, in my opinion, that's not a good combination. Now, what is my prediction? Here it is, folks. Let's just get it. Here we go. This is my prediction for the Alabama Senate race. There's gonna be there's gonna be a runoff. All right. If I would have said this a year ago, I would have been crazy. But it's happening. So Katie Britt and Mo Brooks will face off in a future runoff. Now, the question is how much support will each candidate get? I think Britt will get 35.5%. I just think, just like most of these pollsters, they're missing a chunk of the MAGA support that Mo Brooks is going to capitalize on, especially in his district. Now, Mo Brooks, in my opinion, cracks 30. That may sound crazy, but again, with what we've seen with polling errors, I think this is very likely. Now, Durant, he collapsed. He choked. I mean, just like what happened with Mike Gibbons, he said some stupid stuff, and he failed. So this is my current prediction, folks, for Alabama Senate race. We're going to have a runoff. That's going to be a war. And I hope Trump, at the worst, stays out of it. If he endorses Britt, there's going to be hell to pay. But this, folks, in my opinion, is not the most controversial race of tomorrow. This is right here. The Georgia gubernatorial race. Boy, oh boy. What do you even start? How do you even start with this race? Look, I'm not going to say my prediction just yet. I'll say it in a little bit. But I'll guarantee one thing. I don't care if election day turnout's horrendous, like legendarily bad. Kemp will not get close to 60%. I'm sick and tired of this nonsense being pushed by Landmark Communications, one of the worst pollsters in the country. And by the way, the RCP aggregate, the only reason this is only 56% and not, 60 is because of one of the best pollsters in the country, Insider Advantage. They have Kemp at 52% with 4% undecided. And they even admitted that this is with kind of low election day turnout. That's a bad sign for Kemp. And you start looking at it. These polls like Fox, what they do is this. They assume like 30% of the electorate is from the Atlanta metro. They expect all the voters to be long-time Republican voters. Like, they voted in every single primary in the last 20 years. It's that kind of nonsense with that poll. And they're claiming like 1.6 million people will vote in this. Look, I think there'll be higher turnout for this race, especially for the election day vote. But I will be shocked if it gets above 950,000, let alone 1.6 million votes. So this is complete nonsense, and insider advantage is going to be more correct in my opinion. And you look at this. They showed Kemp at, 54% on May 1st. Again, this was very similar to what Richard Barris found earlier in May. But just like Barris, they noticed Kemp was going down and down and down. Subtly, but he's going down. So, this is a very controversial race. And I had to look at many, many aspects. One, average polling error for, Trump-endorsed candidates. From what I've seen this cycle, all right, we could see this even in Idaho. They said Little was going to get 60% of the vote. He got 53%. Let's say it's the same margin of error. According to most of these polls, according to RCP, Kemp would be under 50. And remember, with runoffs, if Kemp gets under 50%, he's losing the runoff. But also, you can look at turnout data. So we did get the final bit of turnout. I guess I was a bit wrong. Somebody told me otherwise, it's whatever. We ended up with 484,000 early votes. The problem for Kemp here is if this was 16% from the Atlanta metro, then this race would probably be over. It's only 10%. So, this is a situation where if this was 540,000 votes, of early votes, with this electorate, I couldn't see Purdue winning. But now it's under 490,000 votes. That's why, all right, I have some confidence in this race. But also, all right, how many election day votes will show up? This is the critical part of my two predictions. Again, I have two. Look, in my opinion, we're going to have, based on the turnout we've seen, this is a tough one. I'm not going to give an exact number of how many election day votes Purdue needs or something like that. But I do have the first prediction right here. This is if election day turnout is lower than expected, right? This is election day turnout is not perfect, right? It's actually kind of good for Kemp. That means, it's a lower election day turnout. Which again, election day turnout's going to favor people like Purdue. Why? Because again, that's the most Trumpy vote possible. Election day votes. So don't listen to these polls saying Kemp will get 60% of the election day vote. No. So this is my prediction. If turnout on election day is low, all right, that means it's not good for Purdue. Right here, folks, I project Brian Kemp would win with 51.2% of the vote, with a margin of error of 2 to 3 points. That's the margin of error. Again, with most of my things, you can expect, 2%, all right? So that means Kemp, at the worst possible scenario with this electorate, in my opinion, would be, 40, what is that, 49.2% to upwards of potentially 53.2%. This is if the election day turnout's low, and the data we do have is there. Again, he's not getting 60%. That's nonsense. Total baloney. So yeah, that's my first prediction. I'm pulling up right now. This is my prediction, all right? I know I'm going to get a lot of bullshit for this. Not too many people are going to be happy with this. This will be my prediction, all right? If the election day turnout is good, like we saw in Ohio, North Carolina, Texas. Again, all these states are similar. North Carolina, Texas especially. Very similar to Georgia. If we get the election day turnout they got, percentage-wise, I know I'm getting a lot of crap for this. Look, this is my prediction. At this point, I think Purdue forces Kemp to a runoff. I think Kemp gets around 49.2%. And I know there's other candidates, I just haven't not Brian Kemp. Essentially, it's David Perdue versus Kemp. If Kemp gets under 50%, he's going to lose that runoff. Especially right now. So this is my current prediction. If the election day turnout is good for David Perdue, that means there's hundreds of thousands of election day votes. And yeah, folks, that's my prediction. I have Brian Kemp, all right? In my opinion, he still has the advantage right now. It all comes down to election day turnout. And again, this is the scenario if election day turnout is good for David Perdue. And I know that says not Brian Kemp twice. Give me a break. But as you can tell, folks, this is my current prediction. If you did enjoy this video, which I hope you did, smash that like button down below, subscribe, share it with your friends, hit the little bell, and yes. And I know many people are going to give me crap about that. The frickin', oh yes, I messed up. Not Brian Kemp twice. Dear Lord. There, I fixed it. Are you happy now? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed to all of you.